O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Where can you take $10,000 off the 2026 Acura MDX? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our All-Stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moodius Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moodius Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodius.dental. Moodius Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodiusdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Where can you drive the new Acura TLX for only $399 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
No, good afternoon. Yes, that's what it is. It's 12:30, actually. Yes, we threw you a curve today. We were supposed to be on at 2, normally on Tuesdays. We're supposed to be at Hialeah Park. Doesn't look like it. We'll be there tomorrow. So, just it's called like it's a change in the audibles. Okay, we went to the line of scrimmage. Sean saw that they had a defensive front that was just not, and he signaled, and I then signaled to everybody else, and we just said, okay, we're changing it up, and tomorrow we're going to Hialeah Park. All right? So we'll be there. The great Sean Stanley is here, mastering the program, of course. We've got David Furones going to join us, so we'll talk a little Dolphins, a little Canes with him, since he's covering everything, Canes Pro Day, Dolphins, all that good stuff. So we'll have a little fun with David, and we'll talk about that. It's really what we're kind of gearing ourselves to that, right? There's nothing to talk about with the Panthers. Their season is over. There's nothing to talk about with the Heat. They're a play-in team at best. They're not going anywhere. I mean, we saw it. You all don't really want to talk Inter Miami still. I don't know why, but whatever. And so we're really, the Marlins are non-existent. So we're stuck with like the draft and then, these stupid little mini camps that actually do nothing. But we just hope that nobody gets injured. That's all we got to do is follow those stupid camps and hope they don't get injured, because obviously those are all just mental reps for players, nothing else. You don't pick up anything media-wise on there. Some of the media will try to make it more important than it really is, but they got to sell. They got to get the clicks. You know what I'm saying? But we are stuck in no man's land. Okay, like until the Dolphin season is going to suck, but at least we're headed for a rebuild, and we can hopefully get excited about the draft and the young players. And who knows, maybe Malik Willis shocks us. I doubt it, but it would be nice. We're waiting for the Kane season, is basically what we're doing, and then hopefully the Panthers rolling around again. The Heat, well, last night. They lose to the Spurs, and we talked about this. Let's see. I got my notes, man. I keep my notes. Let me see. When was it that we talked about? There it is. We had Ira on March 9th, and we talked about this on the show, that they had just beaten Washington. That they were about to take on Washington that night, on Tuesday night, which is when we had we had Iron on Monday, March 9th. So Tuesday they were taking on Washington, and Thursday they were taking on Milwaukee. We talked about how those are the kind of easy games, and then started the Orlando, Charlotte, Lakers, Houston, and San Antonio run. And we talked about it. If you go back to this show, you'll see that segment there, and we told you, okay,
They should win the next 2, but then we're going to see the test for those 5 games. Well, they lost all 5 games. Last night, they completed the, what is it? The quintuplet? I don't know. What the hell is it? What's the 5? Whatever it is. They completed it. They are who they are, man. They have no stars, and that's the problem. When you have no stars, well, you can't rely on somebody to battle with somebody. Look, yesterday, if Bam is a real star, not a super role player, Wemby has 26 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 blocks. Bam has 18 points on 5 of 17 shooting. And I have talked about for a big man, he is inefficient at times. Like, it happens a lot. Okay? 3 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, 0 blocks. He's not a star. He can star on a bad team, which is what the Heat are. So they need somebody to score. So Bam gets, the bulk of the minutes. And he can score, but he's not a star. He's like a number 3 on a real team. And then you've got, of course, what did Tyler do yesterday? 18 points, 6 of 11, 2 of 6. Just there, whatever, pedestrian. He's all right. He's a role player is what he is. And we're in this hole, and I will continue to repeat this. Okay? I will, as Frankie would like to say, beat the dead horse. I will beat the dead horse. We're here because the Arisons and Riley and the front office don't know what they're doing anymore. That's why we're here. Okay? Norman Powell is now not as good as he was at the beginning of the season. That's why your ass should have shipped him halfway through. You should have found a way when he was hot. You're not going to keep him long term. Bro, go get your pick. Wiggins. Whatever you could do, get a first rounder or 2 second rounders or 7 second rounders. I don't give a shit. Deal them. Where are you now? Bam. You should have dealt him. Tyler, when he was healthy for a year, should have dealt him. The problem is the Miami Heat do not know how to deal in today's NBA. They want to go back to the old days when the obvious star was coming off of some team and let's go get him. Doesn't take a lot of skill to go trade for Alonzo Mourning or Shaquille O'Neal or LeBron or Bosh or whatever, or sign him. That doesn't take a lot of, you're not eyeing anything there. You're not discovering something that anybody else isn't. But guess what you have to do now? Now you have to accumulate picks. Now you have to go into the lottery. And guess what? You better guess right or you end up with Michael Beasley. So now you're going to have to make sure you make the right picks or you need to accumulate a ton of picks to go get the obvious young star, which is, they're good at that. So you have to do what you did with Dwayne Wade. You got to repeat that. And they're refusing to repeat it. It's funny that what started everything for the Miami Heat was the fact that you picked number 5 in the draft. And now you avoid it like it's the fucking plague. I don't understand the Arisons and Riley. I don't understand what these people are doing. I don't understand their business agenda. I don't. If it's just to keep you interested enough so you can make money, mission accomplished. But if you're trying to win, isn't it interesting that all of your championships come from picking number 5 in the draft? And now you refuse to be number 5 or number 4 or number 3 or number 1 in the draft. Why? The system is now made for you to do that. Back then, it wasn't really made for that, but you got lucky. And because you picked number 5 and number 3 came along, you ended up with 3 titles. You ended up with 6 trips to the finals. I mean, come on, dude. It's crazy. I'm sorry, 7 trips to the finals. Or if you're trying to figure out what I mean by that, simple. 4 with LeBron, 1 with Wade, 1 with Shaq, and he's the one that brought Jimmy. That's 7. Because you pick number 5. It's interesting. They are refusing to do what made them what they are. Because you probably don't get Shaq without having Wade. And you certainly don't get Bosh and LeBron without Wade. And Jimmy does not come here without Wade. So it paid off to be in the lottery. Why can't you do that again and again? You see what I'm saying? So when I watch the Heat now, I watch it in anger and frustration because this idiot, this moron that is not an expert in anything, sports, crypto, life, love, music, betting, whatever it is. I don't know anything, okay? I don't know shit. But I knew this at least. So if an idiot like me can figure out that you should be trading all these people and getting picks, if an idiot like me could figure out when to trade Jimmy Butler, how come you guys can't? And what's this bullshit that you're so above going to the lottery when what made you what you are was the lottery? Chew on that, bitch. Acura Pembroke Pines, proud sponsor of our program, and we love, of course, Larry Schlossberg and Mr. Zinn and all the great people at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, folks. And, of course, they know how to get it done at 15601 Pines Boulevard. And let me tell you something. If I can actually pull this damn thing up, they've got the Season of Performance sales event going on right now. So get on down there. And they got some great deals going on. And tell them that Big O sent you. The Integra 2026 model, $249 a month, 2.9% financing for 60 months. The ADX, this is, I believe, the 3rd year of the new model, $319 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. They are the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. They have got a service center that is just, Mike Chan is just like he's just a beautiful human being. Him and Jordan Ferber, just all the great people there. They really treat the people when you go there to change your oil, rotate your tires, whatever it is. It's a real pleasure. You get to relax in the service center area. They got a little cafeteria there. You can have a pastelito, you can have a drink, whatever, watch TV, take your laptop, work, whatever. Great people out there, man. Larry Schlossberg has created a really great atmosphere out there. The MDX, that's one I want my wife to get next. She's been driving the RDX for years. The MDX is the one I want her to get next. 2026 model right now. You can get it for $499 a month. That thing's a beautiful spaceship, and the ratings on it are through the roof. 3.9% financing for 60 months. By the way, go check it out for yourself. They've got a large selection. It's usually overflowing all over the lots. So it's a beautiful thing. You can pick the car you want, the color you want, the style you want, the model you want, but more importantly, the price you want at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. I see. Don't forget, folks, please smash the hell out of the like button. It's very important to smash the like button, okay? Very important to smash the like button. Gets the algorithms going, all that kind of stuff, and other folks that like sports and crypto or anything or finances or anything that we talk about and music and all that, they can join us and have some fun, and we appreciate it as always. And give you insight that most can't give you here in South Florida because they don't have our depth. So, by the way, think about that point I just made. This is the team that tells you they're above the lottery when the lottery made them. It's funny. It's fucking hilarious. Okay? It's like saying mail-in voting is no good, but you still do it anyways. Okay, we go to NorCal. Up at 5 a.m. today, getting my squats down low. Have a great show, Big O, Sean, and chat crew. 1.75 mile run and 203 squats with 135. In mission. My body would completely collapse. Big Johnson, you're in the house. Let's see. No, I have not seen the documentary of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll look that one up. I like it. Thank you for the heads up. Let's see what else. I love the Paul McCartney one that I saw the other day. That was a great call by some of you guys out there. Lenny Pena, the Heat are light years behind the Spurs. They need to wake up and smell the coffee. They're way behind today's NBA. Bro, they're it's like I saw this old dude. He had to be old. And I'm old. But I'm kind of the old guy that adjusts. That's the way I kind of look at myself. I've always looked at myself that way, I think, But anyway, so I saw an old guy because he had to be old. I'm tired of restaurants and QR code menus. And I'm like, so then you want those dirty ass menus that everybody else is touching all over the place. So when you're done with the menu, you feel like you have to go to the bathroom just to wash your hands. Because if you wash your hands before you got to the restaurant and then you touch that menu, you're going to feel dirty sometimes. And you're going to go, shit, dude, I want to go wash my hands. So I actually like QR code menus because that way I don't have to touch a stinking menu and it's just right there really quick. And, but again, old people have problems with phones. I'm not one of the old people that has problems with phones, but I get it. Anyway, adjust. And the Heat is the old man that hates the QR code menus. Scott is in the house. True Fin fan, could Miami have the chance to choose between Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor like they did between Jalen Phillips and Gregory Rousseau? Who would you choose? By the way, I was on record. I would have taken Rousseau. Just so you know. So whether you think I was right or wrong, which I think in the long run I was right, he has been the more durable and more consistent player than Phillips, to be quite honest. And I listen, I would take any of them if they come to me, but if I'm going to take one of the two, I'm taking Ruben Bain. Yeah, I'm taking Ruben Bain because I'll tell you why I'm taking Ruben Bain. Akeem Mesidor is going to be one hell of a player on the offensive line. There's no doubt in my mind about that. I have no problem adding him to my team, but Bain is a leader. So you add two great players, but the difference is Akeem Mesidor is not going to be running the locker room. Ruben Bain will run the locker room. He will police that defense. He will he has a work ethic that he will force everyone else to be at that level, or you will be shamed or you will be out. So I need those guys in the locker room that set the tempo, that lead the team, that that's how you create a culture. So Ruben Bain for me is a culture changer. And so that's why if I had to pick between the two, give me Ruben Bain and I'm not even flinching. Okay. And it's no slight on Akeem Mesidor. It's just I'm getting 2 for 1 with Bain where I'm not getting that with Mesidor. It's very, I mean, how many offensive linemen stand and run the room and all? It's usually like a left tackle, and it's usually like this all-world tackle, one of those kind of guys that's just like nobody, like Jonathan Ogden or something. He can walk around any room and just tell you, hey, you do this. And you're like, yes, sir, Jonathan. You know what I'm saying? You can do that. But outside of that, give me Ruben Bain. So that's why I would do that. Stoney Stanley is in the house. Daddy Dean is here. Bat out of hell. What else? Frankie Fresco. No, they have no Star Atlas or stars. You are correct, sir. You are correct. I am loving this because I have been stacking Polis. Not that I'm not financial advice, but it's so cheap. I just stack and wait, sit back and just stack and just. I know. I'm just waiting for it. I have all the faith in the world that this thing is going to be next level. So let's see what else. And Polis, by the way, is the one that I'm talking about. That's the Star Atlas governance token. Do your own homework, by the way. Do your own homework. Cosa Nostra, afternoon to you, sir. Big O, says Daddy Dean. Can you give a shout out to my friend Big C and his new channel, Finn's Posse Podcast? He's a supporter of yours, just trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers. There you go. Good luck to you, my man. What else? Joe says, very good point. This franchise is going nowhere unless they get some picks to go in the lottery. Oh, but they're above the lottery. It's the funniest shit in the world. The team is above the lottery when the lottery made the team. That's some oxymoron shit. I'm just saying. The team that refuses to tear down and they're above the lottery is only hanging banners because they were in the lottery. I think that, the Arab nations now should stop ceasing drilling any oil and they should sell sand. I mean, why sell oil? Makes you money. It helps you. Why would you want to do that? Nah, sell sand. We all want sand. You guys got tons of sand. You'll get rid of sand. We'll buy the sand. Let's go. Forget selling oil. Forget the lottery. We're above that. We don't want to. No. We're happy in the play-in. We're happy being a mediocre basketball team that's not in the lottery because the lottery cannot help us. No. And by the way, the lottery also got him Shaq. Because if you don't get Caron Butler in the lottery, you don't get Shaq. So the team that refuses to go in the lottery refuses to do it because they benefited from the lottery in getting the one player that built all their titles or NBA Finals appearances, or they also got the other star that helped them win their first title, the lottery. The team that refuses to go into the lottery constantly tells you ignorantly that the lottery is not a good thing when the lottery made them. You know what we do on this show? As Gnarls Barkley, I was going to say Charles, as Gnarls Barkley would say, come on, all together now. 3, 2, 1. Ain't that some shit? That's a trip when it comes to the Heat. Like, wow. Stephen Harris, Jay Bird is in the house. Thank you for reminding everybody to smash that like button. Let's go, get it going. What do we got? Only 28 likes, dude. Come on, man. Let's see. What else do we have? Rusty Rags, what do you got there? What's up, baby? What do we have? What is Bat Out of Hell? Why is he doing so much? Does this guy want to stay on this thing? What's he doing? Why am I seeing so much of one person?
I feel like that's the same one we got rid of yesterday and he just remade, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then, yeah, he's gone. Okay, you could block him there again. Oh, okay, he's the same idiot. All right, get him out of here. He could go create another email if he wants, and we'll just keep blocking it and whatever. So it doesn't matter to me. Those are the people that don't contribute anything to the show at all. Nothing whatsoever. So that's why, I see through all the phoniness. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Ho Yoon, thank you, sir, for the love always on Venmo every week. Thank you for your generosity. It does not go unnoticed. I appreciate you immensely, my friend. Thank you. And he just put, have a nice day. That's it. He is amazing. Thank you, Ho Yoon. Appreciate you. And like Ho Yoon, I'm sure he does, like many of you should have the notification bell, because today we went at a time that we normally don't go on Tuesdays. We normally go at 2. So there you go. Good stuff. All Year Cooling and Plumbing. We love Tommy and all the great people at All Year Cooling and Plumbing. And folks, they are Florida's #1 AC and plumbing service. They've got offices now taking care of you from Homestead all the way to Vero Beach. And we've moved over to the West Coast, over in Naples. So if you're having any AC or plumbing issues, maybe you need a new AC, maybe you just need maintenance, maybe you're having any plumbing issues, call them 888-204-5554. Make sure you mention that you heard it here on the show at the Big O Show, please. Over 350,000 satisfied customers. They give you same-day service and installs, free repair estimates, financing available, extended warranties, 7-day-a-week service, so you can count on them. And they're in year 53. They started this back in 73, and this is year 53, so it's not a fly-by-night company. They're going to be here for you for a long time. My AC, which is pumping right now, is in year 16 from All Year Cooling. It just, when you do it right, it just will last, and you'll get the money's worth. It's a beautiful thing. Reach out to them. 888-204-5554. All right. Like I said before, City of Miami should be called City of Mediocrity. No, that's not true. Why would you say that? The Panthers have gone to 3 straight Stanley Cups and just won 2. The Inter Miami team won the MLS Cup. Our college football team just made it to the national championship game. Just because the Dolphins are a pathetic, bunch of crap, that's, and the Marlins are a joke, everybody else is, pretty much kind of working. The Heat have been a great franchise. They're lost souls right now. Okay? They are completely lost right now, but their overall performance is stupendous. They've got more titles than everybody else and more title appearances than everybody else. So, I mean, we got to, our town is actually, we win a lot more than they do in Orlando or in Atlanta or in Charlotte, or, I could go on and on and on. Okay? I think we do a lot more winning than New York does. So, it's pretty good here. Considering everything, you can't look at the Dolphins and then paint the rest of the Marlins, let's say. And even the Marlins have 2 titles. Even the Marlins have 2 titles in 97 and 2003. You know what I mean? So it's not too bad. Have the Rays won a title? Just I'm wondering there, So it's it's not too bad here. We're doing all right. Actually, we're really good. We're in a really good place. Nova Southeastern basketball is trying to work on its 3rd or 4th national championship in Division II. So, and by the way, the Miami Hurricanes basketball team in 1 year flipped the script, and went to the NCAA tournament and won a game. So I don't know. We're doing all right, dude. Fort Lauderdale United, not having a good year this year, but last year got to the finals. So I don't know, bro. Our town, we're a lot better than what you think. We're pretty blessed when you compare it to other places. So we've had a nice run here overall. I would not. I'm pissed about the Dolphins for sure. I'm frustrated that the Heat refuse to do the right thing, which is just absolutely baffling. But overall, we're pretty blessed. Pretty blessed. Let's see. What else? Sean, you got a mini fridge back there? Do you, Sean? You have one, right? I have one. You have one? I have one. I have a mini fridge.
No, I do not actually have one in here. I got 2 bookcases with memorabilia. That's might be what I'm seeing. I'm not sure.
Okay. No, I have a mini fridge for sure. Yeah.
I did at one point, but I do not anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. When I built this studio in my house, for sure I was going to put a fridge, so I can keep some stuff there whenever I'm preparing, and I can drink, and I don't have to go downstairs to the fridge. So it's convenient, you know. What else do we have? True Fin fans say, I can honestly say he's the first person on the chat that actually almost got under my skin. Keyword almost. Stephen Harris throwing a bye, Felicia. Jay says the current Heat remind me of the 80s, 90s Fins. Not good enough to win it all and too good to just suck. Middle of the pack. Frustrating to support as a fan. Well, I mean, I'll support. I'm just going to tell you how it is. I love Riley and I love the Arison family and I wish them the best. But I'm not the guy that's going to sit there and tell you, hey, you guys are doing everything right. No, if you're doing it wrong, I'm going to tell you something. I want to say, yo, you're fucking it up here. Okay? What's going on? What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, think about what I just told you guys, how ignorant that is. You know? In fact, let's ask David Furones how ignorant that is in our Welt and Rheum Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rheum Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welt and Rheum has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right, David. When we talk about ignorant shit, I'm going to explain something to you about the Miami Heat. Did you get to hear it? I don't know when you tuned in. I don't know when you stepped in. No? You didn't, right?
I just can't hear you.
Why? What's going on there, Sean Stanley? He can't hear me. What's David doing wrong? What's going on? What connection problems are we having? Do we need to reconnect? Let me see. How about now, David? Any better? Yeah, that's better for him. Sign out and sign back in. Maybe we get a better connection.
I wasn't coming from our side. I'm not sure what was going on.
No, maybe he just needs to reconnect. There we go. There we go. How about now?
Yeah, I just couldn't hear what you were telling me. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna. Did you hear my rant on the Heat there? No, right?
No, I've just popped in.
Okay, so the most ignorant shit is going on in this town with the Miami Heat. Follow me on this. So the Heat, they refuse to lose and become a lottery team, correct?
Right.
Right. They refuse to tank and become a lottery team. Okay. So they refuse to do that, and that's the way you do it in the NBA now, right? You suck. You go into the lottery. You hopefully draft. You draft early, and you draft one of the young guys. Like this draft is loaded with a bunch of guys that if you're early in the draft, you're going to get a guy that you have a chance. Or you also go into the lottery for a few years to accumulate several picks, so you can then trade them for a future star. Correct?
Yeah, we've seen all that happen at work.
The Heat refuses to do any of that. They refuse to do any of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the only reason banners are hanging in the arena is why? Because they went into the lottery, correct? Didn't they get number 3 and number 5 in the draft?
Yeah, right. At number 5, yeah. Number 3, Dwayne Wade, which hangs in the rafters, right, was the number 5 pick. Yep, in 03.
Right. So going to the lottery got them the pick that led them to winning 3 titles, correct?
Yeah.
Also, going into the lottery again, you got a guy by the name of, I think his name is Caron Butler at number 9, correct?
Yeah, was it 9 or 10? But yeah, 02 draft the year before. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Either way.
Mm-hmm.
And that brought you Shaquille O'Neal, correct?
Yeah, he was one of the guys traded. Lamar Odom, Brian Grant.
Lamar Odom and Caron, and you shipped them off. But my point is, the only reason you're a championship caliber team is because you went to the lottery. And now you refuse to act. This is the way you do things now, because without Wade, you don't get Shaq. Right. Without Butler, you can't trade for Shaq. So that's the lottery. Without Wade, you would never. You know that with Wade, you got 7 trips to the finals. 7. 4 with the big 3, 1 with Shaq, and he brought you Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and then now you're extending it. Now you're extending it to something else, where Jimmy Butler was brought in as a free agent.
Dude, I'm saying facts. If there's no Wade, does Jimmy Butler come here?
Oh, it's a huge domino effect. Sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
My point is, the only reason there are banners hanging in the rafters is because you went to the lottery. The most ignorant shit going on in this town on sports comes from the Miami Heat right now, where they don't realize they are what they are because they went to the lottery. And now they refuse to go to the place that made them. Sure, Riley created the culture and all of that, but brother, you weren't going to win one freaking title without Dwayne Wade. And what and how did that happen? Because you sucked and went into the lottery. And so, to me, that is ignorant as it gets by the Miami Heat. So I'll loft it over to you, since you're probably afraid to say that. But go ahead.
This is really setting me up. I'm torn on this issue because I see the benefits of how you can get into the lottery, high draft pick. And then, like, for example, the Celtics did that, got like the Jason Tatum pick, and when they were just off of contending, and then they transitioned well from their 3.
Just played Wemby and Stephon Castle and the other guy, the Jalen guy, whatever, the other kid that came off the bench yesterday. He's like a lottery. I think he's a lottery pick also. But go ahead.
Yeah, they got De'Aaron Fox on that team with different means.
That's a trade.
Right. That's like filling in the holes that you need to then be able to contend once you.
But the only way to get that is by having picks, which they refuse to collect.
Yeah. But then you see how, okay, they've been this play-in team for so many years. Then they make a surprise run in 2023. I know you can't count on that, but then you still see, like, okay, when that happened, no one was saying, oh, well, they needed to. Now, I think a lot of people were when they were going into that play-in, and I remember people being upset about them making the playoffs and not getting a shot at Wemby in that draft, which was like a 1% chance at best. But then you have that playoff run where you upset all these teams to get into the NBA Finals. Granted, you don't get another, you get an Eastern Conference banner instead of the NBA Championship banner. But still, it was an impressive run. So I'm torn because you've seen still examples where
No. That's not an example.
2020 and COVID, they got there as a 5 seed.
Bro, that you're not going to count that. Come on, dude. And by the way, you had Embiid injured, and you had the other big man injured.
Well, the Bucks had Giannis injured.
Giannis injured.
Yeah.
You got every break in the book to get to the finals. Fluke, outlier, and then the bubble is a complete outlier.
Well, he still had to play the Celtics.
Yeah, but I get it. But
you go through the Celtics.
You had an easy road to get there, is what I'm saying, because you had a couple of breaks along the way. It's an outlier. It's not something.
Oh yeah, no, right. That's why I'm torn on it. That's what I'm getting to is
Why would you be torn on a lottery ticket? Because that's what that is. That's a lottery ticket, and all you did was you didn't win anyways. So who gives a shit? I'd rather go to the lottery and actually get the guy that's actually going to win me the damn title.
But then when you had the big three Heat go through the 4 straight years of going to the finals, went back to back. Yes, it's still, when you go back in time, it's Dwayne Wade at the heart of it, still being there. But then you did have like the ultimate tank year of 08 coming off. All right, the 06 title and 07, you didn't go anywhere. And they went 15-67. That pick ended up being number 2 in Michael Beasley, and Michael Beasley lasted 2 years. And Michael Beasley had nothing to do with then bringing in LeBron James and Chris Bosh. It was the whole free agency of 2010 of bringing together the big. It was Dwayne Wade's impact. Yes, you can still go back to Dwayne Wade being at the heart of it, but Dwayne Wade, Pat Riley, rings on the table. LeBron James takes his talents to South Beach, and Chris Bosh was already on board and all that. But it had nothing to do with tanking in 08 to then end up at number 2 with the worst record. They didn't get Derrick Rose number 1.
If you don't draft Wade, nothing happens.
Yeah.
No, there are no banners. There's no big 3. There's not even a Jimmy Butler appearance. Nothing. So everything was due to you going into the lottery. Everything. In fact, I'll even add more. When you traded for Bosh and LeBron, you had to trade first-round picks also. So you had first-round picks to trade for stars. You had a star that you drafted number 5 overall that brought it. You had another young star that you drafted that brought you Shaq, that brought you a title. Every time you've gone into the lottery like that, outside of Beasley, it's actually paid off for you handsomely. And now you refuse to do it? That makes no sense.
Yeah. And the other argument, just to play devil's advocate, is that the Heat also do well in finding the undrafted gems that they can developing players to become solid role players. So then there's that aspect of it. But you do need a star or 2.
That and a cup of coffee doesn't get you anywhere. It gets you to the plane.
I know.
Okay?
They
have shown us that without the lottery, they can only draft play-in players.
Yeah, as far as a regular season resume, it's playing.
I'm sorry. Did they find a Jokic or something? Did they? No.
No, not quite.
It's not like they're hitting on a late first
round. They found a Jovic.
Yeah, Jovic, and he's kind of a joke pitch. He's kind of a joke. Yes. So that's my point. So if you're going to be out of the lottery, you've proven to us that you can't find a star out of the lottery, but you've proven to us that you can find a star and even create more stars in the lottery.
Yeah. And it's kind of been like these fringe all-star players where, like, all right, Bam has made a couple of all-star games and known for his defense, suddenly pulls off an 83-point game. But, Tyler Hero will have some moments, but then consistently has not really been someone who you can count on to take the next step in his game and be that kind of a guy. And, Norman Powell brought him in, made an all-star game this year. But still, it's not a collection of someone that's right up there that's really going to bring you up to the top of the. And, man, it was just a few weeks ago the Heat were on this run that had you thinking, oh, okay, maybe they'll get out of the play-in, maybe they'll get into 5 and 6 and this range, and then it's been rough ever since. So now they're at 9, I saw. So
because they are who they are, bro. It's kind of it is what it is. All right. The Dolphins are meeting with Ruben Bain. I mean, I don't really care. That doesn't mean anything to me whatsoever. I don't even know if he'll last there, to be quite honest. I don't fall for the short arm stuff. That guy's a player and a half. That guy's a leader, a winner. In fact, somebody asked me that if Maui Noah and Bain were there for the Dolphins at 11, who I'm taking Bain. I said, because I'm getting a player and a leader. I'm going to get a guy that's going to control the locker room. Normally offensive linemen don't. I love Mesidor, but I think Bain I get 2 players. I get the great player, and then I get the leader that manages the locker room for me and puts a level of expectation on the defense. So for me, I would love Bain, but your thoughts on Dolphins meeting with Bain, and is it just silly talk?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we've already seen that this group, this new regime, will bring in local talent that wants to put on for Miami. And, we've seen a few free agent signings, and they're just minor pickups, but still it's just a willingness to look into the home town base that is here, all this talent that comes out of South Florida, where it's frustrating when, the years when the Miami Hurricanes were struggling and you saw all these top players, the Bosas and everyone else, and Jerry Jeudy going away in recruiting. There were these top recruits and everyone was going away. And then Dolphins, some people would always say, they never go bring the hometown guys. So, there's that aspect of it. And then there's just a great football player that he is when you turn on the film, where it would be tremendous for the Dolphins if this short arm narrative just picked up so much steam that he falls out of the top 10 and then he's right there for you at 11. You could be that team that just at 11 says, okay, this is where the drop ends. We are very happy to take him. Come on down and stay in Miami, where we know he's Miami Central, he's proud to be from the 305, and he'd carry that torch into his professional career at a position where the Dolphins really need a guy. They need players to step up. Chop Robinson is going to be changing things up a little bit. Might be in more of a three-point stance, put his hand in the ground. If it's going to be more base four-down lineman, so that's going to be a change for him. So he's going to have to adjust his game, play stronger, set the edge better, while still continuing to develop that pass rush. You're going to need another guy. He's a true 4-3 defensive end. Did it at Miami and learned from Jason Taylor. It would be a great story. It would be a great pick. If it's Bain and Maui Noa there, because I'm kind of always counting on, I don't think both would be there, but if it is, then I'd side with you. I'd lean Bain for the impact that an edge rusher can make. If it was a left tackle, a true left tackle, which maybe Maui Noa could switch to.
But we have one already. But you already have it.
That's the thing. You already have your left tackle. You don't need it. You have Patrick Paul left tackle. And so if you were in need of one.
You have a cheap left tackle. Seriously,
Sorry, what was that?
You have a cheap left tackle. Not only do you have a left tackle. Yeah.
He's not a deal still. Yeah.
And he's right. And he's a second rounder. So like you're not even paying like top 10 or anything like that in the draft. You're getting like a bargain basement left tackle now, because he had an excellent second season, dude.
Oh yeah.
For a young man. I love the direction that Patrick Paul is going in. He's a guy you want to build on. That's a guy that's untouchable when it comes to that team. Right. Untouchable. Especially if you got to
think about it more.
Yeah.
I think about it more. If you needed a left tackle and he was more like true left tackle, when you are going in the direction where now you got a right-handed quarterback again, and even if Malik Willis isn't the guy for the future, you're more likely to have a right-handed quarterback when you find your franchise quarterback. Whereas before, with the left-handed throwing Tua, it was your right tackle protecting his blind side. So now it shifts back to the normal of left tackle being more the prime position. You're kind of already in place there, having Patrick Paul to be the blind side protector.
Yeah. If it was like a Richmond Webb, which look it up, Sean. I think Richmond Webb was the 11th pick in the draft.
Oh, and was it Laramie Tunsil?
Well, he was I think he was maybe 13th. Wasn't he like early teens or something? You might be right. It might be 11, maybe 13. But I don't know why I remember Richmond Webb being the 11th pick in the draft. But yeah, if it was like a game-changing left tackle, like a Webb, or like I mentioned, like a Jonathan Ogden or somebody, some freak, Anthony Munoz or something like that, then I can understand taking 13th. Him over.
13th for Tunsil. Yeah, you were right. 13th for Tunsil.
13th for Tunsil. Yeah, and then and tell me what Richmond Webb was, Sean, at Chong Stanley.
It was the 9th pick in the 1990 draft.
There you go, 9th. So, if it was one of those guys, but Ruben Bain would be the guy. The news that really came out, and I'm happy for him because we all know he's a hell of a player, but he got this stage this year and just absolutely tore it up, was Keontae Scott. And for him to run what he ran, that probably moved him up a couple spots because everybody already knows he's an excellent player. Does he move up into the first round is the question.
Yeah, that much, huh?
probably second.
Yeah. I would think probably second, but because I think before that it was kind of like third-ish. But yeah, I mean, elevating his stock for sure. I mean, you saw that speed when he broke on the screen against Ohio State and then took it to the house. No one was near him. So, yeah, you see it translate to the field. You see it translate.
I think he'll be in the second, but dude, when you run 4.3 in a passing league, and you play as well as he does in big moments against big teams,
versatile too.
Yeah, I can see people, and if there's a team that has like 2 first-rounders and they're closer to a championship or something, I can see them taking that as a luxury pick as a kid like that. But I think he's a solid second rounder when it's all said and done. I think he sneaks in the second round, but I'm just saying, I've seen shit like this happen where a good player all of a sudden shows you a skill set that is specifically needed in today's game. That was rich for him yesterday.
Yeah, that was money grabbing. That was he's adding to his bank account right there before the fact right there.
I don't think anybody really did anything that freaked anybody else out. That like, oh my God, Keontae was the one guy I think everybody I'm sure was impressed with everybody's individual workouts and all that stuff. But I think Keontae's moment was the one that like really like, oh shit, wait a minute, hold on. I like this kid. Now I really like this kid because 4-3 in our league is very important.
I would think that would be the biggest takeaway. Yeah, if you went out there just open-minded and maybe had your impression of each guy, then that would be the biggest takeaway. Is he boosted his stock the most?
Well, he's a player. He's a player,
and we've seen crazier things.
Yeah, no, but the key for Keontae is he's a player. It's not that he's a freak athlete that we can make him a player. No. This guy's a good football player and now showed you elite speed that you cannot measure on a football field sometimes. Now you see it, and now you go, okay, now I can work with this because I know the kid's got a football IQ. You know what I mean? Like you watch him, he's got a football IQ. He's got what's that called? He's got instincts. These are things that you cannot teach sometimes. Sometimes we've had linebackers here and defensive ends or defensive backs that struggle with certain things when it comes to instincts, or guys like Igbenogany who are converted players and their instincts need to naturally grow over time. Whereas this kid, he's already fully built.
Yeah, I was going to bring him up as an example, and also like DeMarcus Van Dyke, who came out of Miami, and he got into the second round with the Raiders, and it was for that speed, but it was more so still raw. Like you never saw him as that kind of corner at UM. Love him, and also saw all the stuff he did on the staff later on. But I mean, second round pick for him, that was astonishing the year that he came out. So. We've seen much crazier things like no Igbenogany. Igbenogany is much crazier than if Keontae Scott were to creep into the first round. But you're right, Keontae Scott has more of a complete game where he has the football IQ, the instincts, the on-field production, the tape to also go with, now you measured him and he has this level speed. It's like that's a nice combination there.
Hey, let me tell you, Chop is that guy. Chop's that guy. You drafted him on ability. You didn't draft him because you saw a great football player, because the stats weren't there to say that he was a great football player. You drafted him on – that's the difference between him and Keontae Scott. Keontae Scott is a hell of a football player, and now he showed you that he might be one of the fastest DBs in the NFL next year. Now I've got myself something, whereas Chop Robinson is the opposite. He's the freak athlete, just like Deion Jordan, that you want to convert into being a great football player. That's where the gamble is dangerous. Whereas Keontae Scott, that gamble is not dangerous. That's the way I look for me.
Yeah, I would say, if you have both, then that's right. That's a desirable prospect. Where you're projecting.
It's funny because you mentioned it yourself already with DVD, and he's such a good kid. And by the way, there was a guy by the name of Campbell, an offensive lineman that came out of Maryland and ran like a 5 flat in the 40. And Al Davis also drafted Bruce Campbell, came out of Maryland, and he drafted him also. And if the old man was still around, he might take Keontae Scott if he had like a late first or something or early second, he might take Keontae Scott at that point because of the 4-3.
Yeah, not the number one pick. I think that's still going to Mendoza.
Yeah.
Although Orlovsky is really playing up that Ty Simpson storyline. I keep saying.
Well, listen, I don't trust Dan Orlovsky as far as I can throw him, but I've been saying it since the college football season. I like Ty Simpson. He's a guy that if I had a late first, early second, and I was a team that I could sit him for a year or two behind my starter, if I was Pittsburgh, if I was the Rams, if I was a team like that, I would gladly draft Ty Simpson and develop him for a year or two and then put him out there. I don't think he's ready right away, but I would actually, marinate him for a little while. I think Ty Simpson has the skill set to play in the NFL, and if you have some patience, like if you can you have some time and you don't have to rush him, I would take a gamble. I wouldn't take him early in the first round. That's where Orlovsky's getting a little crazy, but because he's a bit of a project. But if I had the luxury of waiting and giving him a year or two to mature, I would take him in the late first, early second. I would
make him your Aaron Rodgers pick of the Packers. That he dropped into the late first round, and then you still have Brett Favre, and you sit him behind Favre.
Right. Right. That's why I would go to the Rams, because
Stafford behind Stafford.
Stafford has a year or two left, and he gets to learn from freaking Stafford.
That I do like. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And he has Sean McVay. So all of a sudden now you've got the whole combination, and he can sit there for a year or two, and there's not a hurry. If I can put him in a situation like that, I would do. If I draft him on the Dolphins, it's a disaster. If I draft him to Minnesota, who has a ready-made team, and I know they have their already quarterbacks, but it's still, you're throwing the rookie right to the fire. I just would, I'd rather go to Pittsburgh, where I have Aaron Rodgers for a year. And then I can have him, mature a little bit and wait and watch and learn a little bit. That's what I think he needs. But I like Ty Simpson too, actually.
LA Rams would be a great situation. Vikings, that could end up the same as JJ McCarthy. So, it would be very situation dependent.
Yeah, they gave Dak an extension, so you can't go there because he still has too many years left. I'm trying to think if there's like another veteran that is like on the back end of his career in the NFL right now. I don't know if there's one outside of those two that I mentioned. But that's the luxury that I would do with him. I would not hurry him up, because that ruins sometimes some of these kids,
The Rams with Stafford is kind of like the prototype.
Plus, they're at the end of the first round. So that's where he should be, at least for me, that's where he should be picked, in the back end of the first round, 20-something to the end of 30 or early second. That's where I would take him if I'm one of those type of teams. But we'll see what happens. You don't like Ty Simpson at all?
No. I mean, I said going into the combine when the reports were saying, he's going to be throwing. And this is before the Dolphins land Malik Willis, but saying, the Dolphins should do their due diligence, at least, which I was not feeling was any controversial statement. You should do your due. If you're a quarterback needy team, then you should do your due diligence on the quarterbacks in this draft. I know a lot of fans immediately get turned off just because he's an Alabama quarterback and you just got rid of Tua. So I put that away from my mind. That means nothing to me. But yes, I agree with you. It's very situation dependent, and I think he could be a very good quarterback.
Actually, in this situation, if you want to play Malik Willis and let him get beat up for 2 years, and let Ty Simpson sit for 2 years with your late first round pick, not the ideal situation. Slow down, Dolphin fans. But I'm just throwing it out there that you do have this kid locked up for 2 years because you're going to pay him for 2 years guaranteed. So if you are going through hell because you got to rebuild and you just brought him in so you could go through hell, but you'll develop Ty Simpson behind him, that wouldn't be the worst thing.
Yeah, and I know they want to stack quarterbacks, like and infuse competition. So you want to take as many shots as possible. I don't know if I would. You'd have to be very convinced. I think. I think you'd have to be very convinced. Like, he's really going to be like. You'd have to be convinced he in a couple of years will be like that Aaron Rodgers selection, like that. It'll be to that level. If you're iffy on it, then I would say, go with someone you like in the mid to late round. You have 4 picks in the 3rd round. You draft any one of a number of quarterbacks that are going in that range. If if you like where Carson Beck is going, if you like Garrett Nussmeier, LSU, if you want to go later and draft the athletic quarterback Taylon Green from Arkansas, a lot of different ways you could go with later quarterbacks, especially after the one position you did invest serious money into this offseason in free agency was quarterback. Then I don't think you need to also invest a high draft pick, especially in this quarterback class. You'd have to be very convinced.
Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. Catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, as always, thank you, my brother. We will catch up on Friday, my friend.
Sounds good, my brother.
You got it. Welton Rayom, proud sponsors of our program and this segment, 954-966-4646. Unfortunately, a lot of people are dealing with bankruptcy right now. A lot of people are going into their 401ks. It's at a record high right now. If you've suffered any homeowner property damage, business owner claims, commercial litigation, please call Welton Rayom. Sometimes people freak out when I tell them never call the insurance companies because you shouldn't. You call Welton Rayom first. They send their adjusters over. They assess the damage, and then they call the insurance company on your behalf because the insurance companies love to talk to you and me because you and me, we don't know all the loopholes and all the laws. They could take advantage of us. But when a lawyer picks up the phone and calls them directly, they have their full attention. 954-966-4646, condo damage, criminal defense, personal injury, business owner claims. Call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
All right. The Fort Lauderdale United is in action this weekend. Yes, they are taking on the Carolina Ascent. They are on the road, by the way. You can watch it on Peacock and Channel 10, but the ladies will be back at home. So get your tickets. Go to FTLUTD.com. Use that QR code there as always. And kind enough to join us now is goalkeeper number 30, Haley Craig, as she gets ready for a little Carolina Ascent action on Saturday. How are you doing, Haley?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
Very good. Cannot complain. So tell me something. How your hometown is Dexter, Michigan.
Sure is.
Tell us about Dexter, Michigan. What is Dexter, Michigan like?
There's not a lot going on. It's a lot of farmland. Nothing crazy. A lot of lakes. My family lives on one, so we love to boat in the summer, play pond hockey in the winter. It's a pretty slow life, but there's a lot to love.
Okay, so how many? What's the population in Dexter?
Quite small. My high school graduating class was like 250 people, to put it in perspective. So quite small.
All right. That's cool. I actually think that's really cool. And living on a lake, the only thing is the pond hockey stuff. Like, how do you know it's all frozen and you don't fall through? By the way, I just always when you live
you have to.
What's the expertise you can pass on to us Floridians that will never run into that?
Yeah, hopefully you never run into that. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things. You track how long it's been below freezing, how many days, and also how deep the water is, because that also plays a factor. If the sun's been out or if it hasn't. Also, like if the ice fishermen are out, you're safe. When I see the tents or those come up, then you know that you can go out on the ice because they're pros.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Did it ever happen to anybody like the ice cracked or they fell through or anything like that? And you had to
Yeah,
save?
I mean, it happens. It definitely happens. I've known my fair share. I mean, I've accidentally gone too close to the edge, which is where the ice is thinner, and I've, fallen in. My legs have gotten really cold, but it's for the fun of it. You got to put your life a little bit at risk sometimes.
Haley, we all have the damn nightmare that we fall in and then we're floating and they're all through the ice and we're just floating away and the current is taking us away. And we're like, oh my God,
It's a fair fear. It's a fair fear. I get it, especially being from Florida. But when you're from Michigan, those type of things don't scare you much.
Okay. All right. Haley Craig, goalkeeper for our Fort Lauderdale United. They'll be taking on the Carolina Ascent on Saturday. Watch it on Peacock or on Channel 10. Just out of curiosity, what was the moment that you got the bug to be a goalkeeper? Because I know you didn't letter at soccer, you lettered in track. So I'm just wondering, did you become a goalkeeper from the moment? Because, a lot of people want to be forwards and score goals and things like that. So being a goalkeeper is kind of a selfless type of job almost.
And it's psychotic. You can say it.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times you're out there, you're kind of in an island a lot of times. So I'm just wondering, do you remember that watershed moment when you got the bug? You said, "Oh, I got to be a goalkeeper."
Yeah, I mean, when I was started in soccer and I was really young, I loved being a striker. I loved scoring goals. But my dad was a goalkeeper back in high school, so I think it was when you're like a U8 and they rotate goalkeepers because no one's actually a goalkeeper yet. And I went in and I had so much fun. I loved all the pressure that was on me. I had a blast. And my dad was like, "This is great. I'm gonna make a goalkeeper." So then I started working on it. But honestly, even till my senior year of high school, I was playing the first half on the field. I mean, first half in goal and then second half on the field. I remember my senior year at playoffs for ECNL or GA, whatever the league was. I was on the sideline playing forward, and I turned, my college head coach was on the sideline, and he was like, "Haley, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just trying to score a goal. I'm just trying to score." And he was like, "Just so we're clear, this is never going to happen when you get to Stanford." And I was like, "Well, then I better live it up now."
You should tell me, have you ever heard of Sheila Ver? Come on,
Yeah, what? I could do both.
Right. Sheila Ver used to do it all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
He'd leave the goal. And there was another guy, by the way, from Mexico. God, I want to say his name was Sanchez, maybe. He wore these fluorescent gloves always. And so that was kind of like one of his marks. And he had forward instincts, too, as a goalie. And there were times where he'd take the ball halfway out to the pitch, and you're like, "What the hell is this?" And so, Sheila Ver also used to do that too. So, it's not like it's never been done before.
I think it makes you better because then you can play like a field player. I know my team is really comfortable playing me back at my feet because I happen to have really good feet because I played on the field for so long. So I think it's an asset, if anything.
Some people like to even use the goaltender in penalty kicks because there are some that are.
That's me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's not like something that has gone it's never happened before. We've had these goalkeepers over time that they want to get offensive. All right, now I've never asked this of a goalkeeper, but I think it might be right. You tell me, because obviously I'm not. So you're the expert. It's impossible to be a goalkeeper if you don't have leadership skills.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah,
right?
I would say because that's your job.
You have to command. You have to command attention. And to me, you have to be either the captain or one of the captains on the team. There has to be a set of leadership skills in every goalkeeper. correct?
I do think that a sense of leadership for sure. I would say I always compare it best to like a pitcher or a quarterback or like the center in hockey, like that type of leadership. I wouldn't say that necessarily goalkeepers have to be a captain. I think being a goalkeeper, you have to be able to hold people accountable and to a standard while also leading. But I do think that sometimes a captain might not be able or should not have to, be as aggressive as a goalkeeper sometimes is with their communication, because we are the last line of defense. So while I understand a goalkeeper being captain, I think I'm not a captain, but I have a lot of those leadership qualities. But I also, on the other end, because I'm not a captain, I can hold people to a different level of standard because I don't have to watch my mouth of how I say it. And I think it keeps like the team definitely in order. Yeah.
Is the challenge of watching film and habits of forwards and midfielders that you're going to face on a weekly basis. What's that challenge like? What's that film room like, that session? Because it's got to be kind of interesting that you've got to try to figure out habits and places that they love to take a shot from in certain areas of the pitch or certain that they like to set up. Talk to me a little bit about the film watching that goes into that.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting for me particularly. Like, I'm not a big soccer watcher. Like, I don't have a Premier League team that I'm favoriting, like none of that. But when it comes to myself and like the game in front of me, so right now Carolina, but take last week, for example, against Lexington. I watched
You had some killer saves early on, man.
Thanks. I watched like 4 of their most recent games. They played on Wednesday last week. I watched that game twice, trying to analyze not just the players who were in the game, but also the players that could be coming off the bench. Looking at little tendencies like number 10, Amina Ekic, she loves to cut in and play on her left. When she's on her right foot, she's always crossing. Loves going 1v1. Then you look at Kat Berry, their 9, who has like 10 or 11 goals on the season. She'll shoot from anywhere. She's huge. She'll spin a defender. And it's just the ways that I can understand their tendencies and the themes of how their team likes to play, so that I can not only set myself up for success, but also set my defenders up for success and through my communication with them. So while I'm not a huge soccer watcher generally, when it comes to preparing for a game, I'm watching soccer all week. I'm in the film room, not just with the coaches, but on my own.
By the way, it seems like film doesn't help against Messi because everybody don't let him get to the left foot.
Don't let him on it. Yeah, exactly.
And he still gets to the left foot.
Yeah. Sometimes you try your best and still it's not always going to happen for you.
But the best is the best. And there's a reason why the best is the best when it comes to, because it's the funniest thing in the world. Everybody knows the left foot is coming and they still can't stop the left foot.
Some people are just that quality. Like some people, you could say they can't get a shot off, but what are you going to do? You can't follow them every time. You'll get thrown out of the game. So then I rely on the fact that, I get paid to keep the ball out of the net. So then that's my job. Yeah.
All right. So apparently you are a secret chef.
Yeah. I love to cook.
Okay. So what is your best dish?
My family says that I make a really good lasagna. But the fun fact about that is I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't really eat lasagna. But I do make a really mean lasagna. I just don't usually consume it.
My daughter makes a great lasagna, and I mean, I'm eating it for like 3 days every time.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Better the next day and the next day.
It's always better the next day.
Yes,
always.
Exactly. But she has the tiniest piece. She's not lactose intolerant like you, but I'm eating and then I'm eating the next day, and she'll have like a tiny piece, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like you just delicious lasagna. Why aren't you eating it? You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, lasagna, and I would say I make a really mean steak. But my dad is a retired chef, so he was an exec chef for his whole life. So I learned a lot of things from him.
Okay, so what's because in favorite foods you have like chocolate chip cookies and pizza and all that, but you got barbecue.
Yeah.
Like, what's your favorite barbecue place that you've been to? And have you developed one any in South Florida yet?
I haven't found one, so I'm open to recommendations. You gotta help me out. But I would say, like, I'm a huge fan of anywhere in Nashville. There's some really good places in St. Louis, Missouri that I've been to. Honestly, kind of anywhere you walk into when you start creeping into the South is quite good. My grandma and grandpa are from the South, so I like really developed the love for barbecue.
I'm jealous. You went to Nashville and you had barbecue. I mean, I haven't gone to Nashville yet, and I'm just dying to go for like a week so I could just hang out in the bars every night.
And Nashville hot chicken, phenomenal. You got to
Really?
do it. Yes.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
All right.
It's a little spicy, but it's delicious.
Oh man, but I just all I hear about Nashville is just freaking awesome, and I'm dying. And I'm a big music guy. So
Then you might go and never come back.
I know.
That's where I'm at.
That could happen. That is a possibility. All right. So here's something I'm very intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
A young person at one of her favorite bands is the Beatles.
Kind of random, I know.
It's very random for your generation. It is very random. So I'm wondering, do you have a parent that was a big Beatles lover? Was this influenced, or how did it happen? Did it
yeah.
Was it by osmosis? Did it just morph? What happened? Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, my dad's a huge Beatles fan. I grew up like listening to a lot of like old rock, like Kid Rock, huge fan. Steely Dan, huge fan. The Beatles, etc. So I grew up with our little cassette tapes getting put in and our little CDs, because that was like my youth. Was we had a CD player in our kitchen. So when we would cook dinner, my dad always had the Beatles going, and we would like dance around the kitchen, sing the music. So it just like for me is like such a homey sort of feel when it comes to their music.
Weave into George Harrison and Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Any of their solo careers? Because
Paul McCartney, yeah.
Magnificent. I mean, John Lennon had a magnificent solo career. Paul McCartney's my favorite out of the three out of the solo careers. I think his catalog is just absolutely.
Oh, I mean, they're phenomenal. That's for sure. But yeah, I like anytime I want to like reminisce a little of my youth, I just go on we have a family shared Apple Music, and I go into my dad's rock playlist, like old rock, and listen in.
Okay. And I saw that when they asked you about your favorite movies, you said, how can I do that? I'm a movie connoisseur.
Sure am.
Okay. So it's hard to say your favorite movies. I got that. So give me what you call or one or two great action movies.
Oh, action. Interesting. Okay. I would say that the original Avengers is phenomenal. Also the original Captain America. I'm a Captain America fan. I love Marvel movies.
I didn't like the one recently. I thought it was lame. I watched it with my wife. It was I forgot the name of that Captain America. And I just thought it was like, you guys are just making money. That's all you want to do.
The recent Marvels have let me down a lot, but I would say the original Iron Man, the original Captain America, the first Avengers, those are phenomenal. Huge fans. I would say it's not really action, it's more adventure, but like Interstellar is one of the best movies ever, period.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say those.
How about drama? If you were, because I like your picks on action movies. So how about drama?
Like a period piece drama, Pride and Prejudice is a fan favorite. That one's great. I definitely grew up watching that, and Sense and Sensibility, also a bit of a drama, a little bit of a romance, more period pieces, but those are great.
Have you seen Hail Mary that just came?
No, I haven't. I need to lock in. Yeah, we need to stop traveling so much so I can sit down in my apartment and actually watch a movie.
Mary is very good, and what's his name? Damn it, he was phenomenal in this role. Actually, they tell me the book is actually better.
It usually is.
Yeah, they say the book is better. I don't do a lot of book reading. That's not my thing, unfortunately. I do a lot of reading every day, but it's not books. It's usually just articles and all kinds of stuff. But I never really end up, doing that. So, but watch Hail Mary, because it is a very good movie, well written, good plot. I think Rocky, which is like the alien that's in the movie, because he's literally like a rock.
Mm-hmm.
going to become like a character or something like in the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Gru and all that.
Star Wars, so good.
There you go.
I forgot about those too. Those are action.
Which Star Wars? Like, what is your is there one that's your favorite out of all of them?
Oh, that's really hard. I would say probably A New Hope's pretty good.
That's the
but
first
honestly, one. Yeah. But I also liked, you know how their order's like 1, 2, 3, but then they reversed and went back. I honestly like the reverse go back because I think it gives really good context. And and it's necessary for. I remember the first time I watched them through, we watched them in their release date first so that I could like understand why they were great. Then I watched them in like the movie chronological order, like where you're supposed to watch them in. And I was like, oh, this is so much better. This is awesome. Yeah. So
as long as you watch it in the order, it does get great. All right. So give me a preview. What do you see from the Carolina Ascent on Saturday that you're facing on the road?
Yeah, I think road games are always tough, but they're also a really great opportunity. You know, we're on a bit of a down streak, as I think everyone knows. Going to Carolina, though, will be great. They have some really good attackers. They just signed Tyler Lucy, who's obviously in the end of itself for many years. She's a proven scorer. So making sure we lock her down. And then Lily Nabet was part of our team in the fall, and now she's on their team. They've had a bit of goalkeeper switching around, so that should be interesting. But I think overall, like this week, just focusing on us. I think a lot of problems come in when you're only focused on the opponent. I think for me, I need to focus on their forwards and like learning about them. But as a whole group, just focusing on the way we play together and finding ways to score goals. So if we can open up the scoring and actually break open the game with a goal or two, I think we'll be just fine.
Yeah, it's kind of like it seems like the funk that's in just kind of needs to break the ice to kind of loosen things up and then get things going and get kind of in a groove because it just needs to be kind of put together.
Yeah, it's been like a 3-game no-goal streak, and I think when you're not scoring goals defensively, you know, my job as a goalkeeper and the defense's job is to keep a game winnable. It's not necessarily always that we're going to keep a shutout every game. So the more I can keep games winnable, if we start scoring, I really, truly do think we'll start winning games.
You did your best early on there. That you were saving a few there. So, yeah. So let's get it going. By the way, Instagram, how can we follow you?
Oh, Haley M. Craig on Instagram. Follow me.
And movie suggestions and barbecue suggestions. She wants barbecue.
Yes.
Remember,
send it in the DMs. Thank you.
Yeah, there's one in Kendall, but you know it's down in Kendall, so it's kind of far from you. But on 117th, and it's called damn it, I'm forgetting the damn name of it. But I'll send.
You should tell me because my family's down in Coral Gables. Like I have extended family down here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll send it to you on the IG there. I'll send it.
Perfect.
And
thank you.
All right, Haley. Have a great week this week. And
thank you.
FinFan just sent in a super chat. He says, "Kick butt, Haley. Go FTL UTD."
Thank you.
There. Thank you, Haley. Have a great week and appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
You got it. There we go. All Year Cooling and Plumbing's proud sponsor of our program. And, of course, the Fort Lauderdale United, 888-204-5554. Go to the website, allyearcooling.com, so you can get a free estimate. They've been around for 53 years, serving Homestead of Vero Beach. And also, we have new offices in Naples. Number 1 in AC and plumbing, All Year Cooling and Plumbing. All right. Oh, man. What we got going on here? All right. The Dow is down 76 points. The S&P is down almost 26. The NASDAQ is down 2. I guess some people got smart after yesterday and figured out there was a bunch of lies. Bitcoin is at 69,000. There we go. All right. Remember Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And we thank Haley Craig for joining us here on Le Programme. All right. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Last night, the Spurs, as expected, they trounced the Heat 136-111. Miami drops to 38-34. They've got the 9th spot now in the play-in. Tomorrow, they're at Cleveland. Friday, they're at Cleveland. Sunday, they're at Indy. So they'll be playing 3 games in 5 nights. We'll see how they perform there. They should win at least the Indy game. We'll see if they can split the Cleveland games or win both. We'll see. But what's it called? Wemby had 26 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 block shots, leading the way. Tonight, Panthers back in action. They are hosting the Seattle Kraken at 7 o'clock. Florida is minus 130 on the money line. Seattle is plus 110. Saturday at 7 o'clock, you just heard Haley Craig. Fort Lauderdale United will take on the Carolina Ascent. You can watch it on Peacock and on Channel 10. Inter Miami, by the way, is off till April 4th. That's when they will host Austin at Chase Stadium at 7:30. Inter Miami, by the way, also inks a deal with Adidas, a 5-year deal. And you're going to not only see the Adidas logo, but apparently in their new stadium, they're going to have the largest team store in the MLS, 11,000 square feet, 2-story team store. There's going to be so much messy stuff in there. It's insane. Anyway, and the Seattle Seahawks, they signed Jackson Smith and Jigba to a 4-year contract extension worth $168.6 million, averaging $42 million a year. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Thank you. Let's see. Dolphin Dave. Thank you, sir. Havana Lou. Well, I don't know if I nailed it with Ty Simpson. I'm just saying I kind of like him. So he's a kid that I would take. I would invest a late first or early second in the kid. I think he's worth the project. I really do. True Fin fan wants no part of Ty Simpson. And as a Dolphin fan, I don't have a problem with that at all. I told you what situation I would put Ty Simpson in. Let's see what else. Lenny Pena, I don't want to see another Alabama QB for our Fins. I'm sorry. And thank you, True Fin fan, for the super chat. Havana Lou, great interview, and stop with the lasagna. I'm hungry right now. Yeah. My daughter makes a great lasagna. Awesome lasagna, dude. I'm eating that thing for days. It's fantastic. And she does. She eats a small piece. It's amazing. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm getting a big old chunk because it's freaking delicious. You're only getting a piece. But you know what I've noticed? And, I think I've noticed it with all cooks. They don't really eat it. Even when your mom was cooking or whatever, she'd make sure everybody was served, and then she'd probably have like a little bit herself. You ever notice that? That cooks never really like treat themselves to the food you're getting treated to. It's kind of like the oddest shit out there. I don't know if it's like they're picking throughout the day or whatever, or they're picking while they're cooking, or I don't know what it is. But cooks tend to not pig out like the rest of us. Like, this is delicious, great. How come you're not having any? Or I had a little bit, I'm all right. Did you poison this shit? It's like, it doesn't make any sense. It's the weirdest thing. Ray Grullon says, great taste in music and movies, I must say. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. I was blown away, a young person, that the Beatles are her, Big O, have you watched the movie Heat? Oh, yeah, God, from years ago with Al Pacino? Yeah, man, for sure. They're going to make a remake. I thought Heat was all right. I never really looked at Heat like a great movie. I thought it was all right. Solid movie, but not a spectacular movie. So, I don't know why you would need to make a remake, but Big O, could the Dolphins possibly pick up Keontae Scott in the 30th pick in the first round? They could. I doubt it, but they could. I don't know how these guys draft. I don't know if they're, they go crazy like Al Davis used to do with speed, so they'll reach a little bit. I think Keontae's a second rounder, but, because of the 4-3, I can almost see somebody going crazy and taking him late first because DBs are so important in the NFL nowadays. But, no, I don't think the Dolphins will take him. But, again, you know what, dude? I don't know these guys. Nobody knows these guys. Until we start seeing them do things, we won't learn what their characteristics and their habits are. So it's crazy, but that's just the way it is. Jamie Zoria in San Jose says, busy day today at work. I hope everyone's having a good day. Remember to smash the like button. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go. Smash it. Absolutely true. My is the best cook I've ever known. My grandparents were awesome, but she's on another level, and her dad and brother are the chefs at Billy's Stone Crab in Las Olas, and she's better. But it's crazy how they just don't eat that much. Daddy Dean says, Big O, I really want to take my son Daniel to his very first concert, but I'm struggling on where I should pick. What should pick? Can you give me any ideas for concerts this year? I don't know what you like, dude. I don't know what music he likes. So I can't give you a suggestion on anything if I don't know what he likes. So you got to give me, like, what kind of music are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? And then maybe I can give you an idea of, unless it's like new rap, because that's not my territory. I don't think it's yours either. I'm not going to be able to tell you about the mumble rap stuff. But outside of anything else, I can give you some tips on something, but I got to know what you like. I don't know what you like. I like Alar as a 4th or 5th round project. Your thoughts? Yeah. That's where he should go. Yeah, I don't mind taking a project in the 3rd day. They should take a project in the 3rd day. That's what I would do if I'm them. I would have another young quarterback with Ewers back there battling for the backup job because you already have your starter. There is no competition. That's only shit that other people make up, because there's no such thing as competition at quarterback. When you have competition, you have no quarterback. It's usually what it is, So there we go. What else? I just started the show from the beginning. So he's a little behind, is what he's saying. So his comments will be a little late. Too funny. Appreciate you all. All right. Let's see what we got. So we talked a little bit about the Heat. Sad, but we talked a little bit about that and how they refuse to change. Good Canes Pro Day. What I liked about the Pro Day yesterday is that now you have more elite talent and now you have more of the NFL because, the last 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, the talent was weak, barely any first rounders or sometimes even second rounders. So you didn't get a lot of NFL people there. You know what I mean? And the Canes in the last 10 years, some of their drafts, they didn't deserve to have a lot of people there. It was weak. Just kind of, and that's what I liked about what I saw yesterday is that it was loaded with NFL people. Of course, Hafley's going to be there and Sully. That's not news. They just got here. And it's a great class. And they're at number 11. And 2 of the guys that are there could be at 11. So it would make sense for them to be there. You know what I'm saying? So that to me is not – the Keontae Scott stuff was good. Happy for that kid because he's a football player. And then he shows something else. So he was the guy that stole the show yesterday because he's the one that really improved his draft stock. No doubt. The other guys – they already knew who they were and what they were all about. And you know what I mean? That to me is not a big deal. But good. And spring practice started today. So that's good. It's just a good vibe around the University of Miami football program. It's nice to see them cross that threshold. Of course, Mario has to try to win a national title now to kind of, really say you're back and all that. But before you get to that national title, you got to get to these stages first. And they're there. And that is good. It's really good that the talent is coming back, that the NFL draft now is becoming, a must-see thing at the University of Miami, something that was nothing in recent history. That's why you had a ghost town of NFL people there. Very few GMs, very few head coaches, because there was nothing to see. Mario's got that back. To me, that's what I loved about yesterday, is that the vibe for the University of Miami is back. And so let's have another great season coming up, man. See if they can actually win the title this year. Would be pretty damn cool if they can do it. Travis Kelce, when you talk about extensions, sometimes you do it because the player's amazing. You want to keep him. You want to build around him, all those things. Yesterday, the agreed deal between Travis Kelce and the Chiefs was not about that. Travis Kelce is a shell of what he used to be. And he doesn't have 3 years left in his body for that $54 million. But I will say this. I'm going to give Kansas City, as much as people talk about how the Dolphins have a great facility and they're number one and all that in Kansas City. I don't know where they ranked this year, but I remember the year before when they won the title, they were dead last. And I don't know where they are now. They were probably just a little bit higher than that. And I don't care about that. That's the player's problem. That's not my problem. My problem is results. And you know how to draft players. You know how to develop them. And guess what? You're also taking care of them. That's what that was yesterday. That was a thank you, Travis Kelce, for your career, your hard work, and all that kind of, because there's no way he lives out that contract. So whatever guarantees he's going to get, and then, they'll take some kind of a dead cap hit in his honor, like I'm sure they're going to do with Chris Jones, because they guaranteed some of his money this year also to free up some space, and a guy like Pat Mahomes, because that's what you do. That's what you do. Because yesterday you saw that deal, and if you have half a brain, you're like, wait a minute, that's a stupid deal, dude. But you have to make that stupid deal. Isn't that crazy? You have to make that stupid deal because everything he's given you. And so this is the way you do things, and you do it the right way, where he leaves, he retires as a Chief, you retire his number. Guys like him and Chris Jones and Pat Mahomes, you have to treat them a little different. And it's, it's good to see that part, actually. Pay the people that helped you get to where you're at as a franchise. So I don't have a problem with that. The Njigba deal, that's the one you have to sign, because that guy's amazing. That guy's a monster. That guy's one of the 5 elite receivers in the NFL. You got to keep him, It was two different things trying to accomplish. One is a respectful goodbye contract, and the other is, oh yeah, we want to keep it going because you're one of the reasons why we won a Super Bowl title. So it's interesting how you see two extensions, and they meant two different things in the NFL, but all worthy. And I like that when you take care. Listen, we watched the Heat mismanage the end of Wade's career and give that money to Hassan Whiteside. And this is not hindsight. I said it then. I understood what they were trying to do, disagreed with it. I would have never given him that money because he wasn't mature enough to handle it, but whatever. You paid the price. Instead of taking care of the guy that took care of you. And by the way, you didn't take care of him, and he still rewarded you by getting Jimmy Butler to come to you, and you got to 2 NBA finals. That's some thankless shit right there, dude. Okay. So, yeah, Kelsey makes Kyle Lowry look like a clown, sweet baby Ray. He and his brother have like $100 million contract in that podcast. So he is super killing it. He doesn't only make big salary on the field. He makes big salary off the field. Kyle Lowry, nobody wants. That's why he's a garbage truck that shows up on our at Acura for us. But Kelsey is doing commercials. He's got a $100 million podcast with his brother, and now he's got this, bro. He prints more money than the Federal Reserve. It's impressive. Impressive. So, say hi to the kids for me, sweet baby Ray, and the wife. Let's see. Radiohead, Smashing Pumpkins, System of a Down. Okay. I can tell you this. A Radiohead concert is expensive, but it's worth it. It's a good concert. I don't know if they're touring in the U.S. right now. Smashing Pumpkins for sure. You want to see that. They're actually touring, but I don't know if it's here or not. You know what I would tell you? Let me see something here. How about this? I'm gonna goggle real quickly here just for you. Bands on tour right now. See what comes out. Okay? And here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. All right. Let's see. Foo Fighters is touring now. That is a great concert. If you can go see them. Green Day, fantastic concert. Red Hot Chili Peppers is touring. Awesome. If he likes the Killers, they're very good live. Smashing Pumpkins, also very good live. What else? Love Mumford & Sons. That's probably not his thing. Let's see. In Florida, Guns N' Roses is coming. You want to treat him to something? That's a hell of a show right there. Guns N' Roses. That's at least quickly. That's what I saw here on the internet. Those are a couple of bands that I would definitely take him to go see, my brother. Okay? Hopefully that helps. And hopefully one of them is coming close to you. Okay? No Doubt is also, but that's in Vegas, and that's over at the Sphere. That's another one, by the way. You really want to treat him to one hell of a concert, go to the Sphere for a show that, he might like. Metallica's going there. That's another one. So there's some good ones. You're lucky that some of the bands he likes are actually touring. So you might be able to see one of them. Good luck. And you're a good dad, by the way. Taking your son to some shows. That's really cool. My dad never liked music, so he didn't understand anything I liked. Especially when he would walk into my room back in high school and there's like Iron Maiden posters and stuff. He'd look at it going, is my son like a devil worshiper or something? So yeah, he wasn't much into music. It was my mom actually that got me into music. My mom is the one that influenced me in music. My dad did not. He hated music. Basically hated it. He'd only jam some Spanish stuff when he was on the boat. That's it. Outside of that, it wasn't really big on music at all. It's a weird thing. Big on sports, not on music. It's insanity. But what can I tell you? Let's see. Jeff says, I think some people come on the chat board just to piss off people. Maybe. Dolphin Dave says, disagree. It's a business in the NFL. If you're done, you're done. I understand your point, but I have no problem for the main people that get it done. I like I want to see Marino end his career with the Dolphins. I don't want to see him somewhere else. Jason Taylor could still play. I didn't want to see him go to the Jets. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes there are some of these things that I do disagree with, and I want to see certain people need to retire with your team. I think it's important. For me, it's important. I think it's important for the history of the team, for the player, for his legacy. You know, at the back end of his legacy, you shit on it and he's got to go somewhere for a year or two. That's no fun, dude. And you could have, you find a way to accommodate, you negotiate, you find some kind of common ground and make it happen, So I disagree with you. Do I do it with every player? No. But there are certain players that I have to do it with, and I want to do it with. I don't want to see them go somewhere else. Like Alonso, I didn't mind when he went over to the Nets because he had just come back from a kidney ailment, didn't know what his future was. The Heat were in a crossroad at that moment, and the Heat did the classiest thing in the world. It didn't work out for him, going to the Nets, and then Toronto, I think, and then he came back eventually. But they had built a team there with Jason Kidd and all that they thought they were going to challenge. So, that was like super cool that they did that. And then he came back, and karma has it, he ends up winning it, in 2006 with Wade and Shaq. And he was the most important defensive center of the series. It wasn't Shaq, it was him. So, things like that happen. And I don't mind Dolphin Dave, because there was a medical thing and you were in a crossroads as a team. But a guy that has given you everything, I want to see him finish. I want to see him. Put it this way. I don't want Alexander Barkov to ever play a minute of hockey for anyone but the Florida Panthers. That's it. Simple. No. Don't want him to go anywhere. And I bet you he won't. I bet you he'll retire here. Because Vinny Viola is going to do shit like that, I bet. Because there are certain people that you got to do right by them. Because then they are the faces of your franchise forever. And look at the Heat-Wade relationship. It's not really what it should be. And that's because of the awkwardness that happened in between. So I'm a little different than you are in that sense, So, let's see. Hopefully, we'll definitely meet, Sweet Baby Ray. I go up there all the time. Definitely, we'll definitely meet. We'll hang out as a family. We'll have some fun. That'll happen down the line, I'm sure, at one point. That I can see happening. Very realistic. Big O, is the Red Hot Chili Peppers playing in Florida? I'd have to look up the dates. I'm not sure, my brother. You can go on the internet and figure it out. Just put Red Hot Chili Pepper tour dates, and it'll, whenever band you want to see, just put on the search engine their name and tour dates, and it'll come up, and then you can check it out, and then you can go, or you can go to Ticketmaster, and that'll tell you right there too, pretty much, So you can put in a band and see their tour dates. They're also on Ticketmaster. It sucked watching Cam Wake get his 100th sack with the Titans. He should have been in a Dolphin uniform. Yeah, shit like that. Yeah. Jeff says, did anyone notice that the Falcons now have 2 B. Robinsons at running back? Oh, I did not notice that. Let me do a little music. Always love doing a little music. And it's always a priority on this show. Speaking of music, let's see what's going on today and who, musicians-wise, was born on this date of March 24th. Pacemaster Mace from De La Soul born in 1970. Nena, the German singer, songwriter, actress, and comedian, apparently. I didn't know she was a comedian. 99 Red Luftballons is a song that sucks, but it sold over 25 million records. So what can I tell you? And she was born in 1960. And please don't ever play that song around me. What else do we have here? Dougie Thompson, bassist with Supertramp. Let's see. Dreamer, nothing but a dreamer. Born in 51. Nick Lowe, It's Cruel to Be Kind. Born in 1949. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays. No, kind of weak. Carol Kay, born in 1935, played on an estimated 10,000 recordings in her career, spanning over 50 years. She was the bass on many Phil Spector and Brian Wilson productions in the 60s and 70s. She's credited with the bass track on several Simon and Garfunkel hits and many film scores by Quincy Jones, Lalo Schifrin. She contributed to the Beach Boys, Pet Sounds. Kay also performed on many American theme songs, including The Streets of San Francisco, Mission Impossible, MASH, and Kojak. Carol Kay, born in this state in 1935. That is one badass woman right there, baby. What a resume. What a resume, dude. These people needed her to make music. That's some special people that called upon her. All right, let's go with famous people celebrating birthdays today. Magician, escape artist Harry Houdini, born in 1874. Let's see who else is celebrating birthdays. Bank robber Clyde Barrow, born in 1909. Why we have that there, I have no idea, but what the hell? Read it. Actor Steve McQueen, Mr. Cool, born in 1930. Let's see. Fashion designer Tommy Hilfiger, born in 51. He's 75 today. Comedian Louis Anderson, born in 53. Actor Robert Carradine, born in 1954. Actress Donna Pescow, born in 54. She's with us. She's 72 today. Actress model Kelly LeBrock, born in 1960. She is 66. Weird science. TV personality Star Jones, born in 62. She's 65. She did a marvelous job losing weight. Ooh, there's one for Sean Stanley. Actor Peter Jacobson, born in 65. He's 61. Actress Laura Flynn Boyle, born in 70. She's 56. Musician Vincent Mason, who performs under the names Meso, PA, Pacemaster, Mace, Plug 3. I told you already, De La Soul. But I wanted to add that because I had no idea he had all those names. Actor Jim Parsons, born in 73. He is 53 today. Actress Allison Hannigan, born in 74. She's 52 today. Football Hall of Fame member Peyton Manning, born in 76. He's 50. Actress Jessica Chastain, born in 77. She's 49. Musician Benji Gershom from OAR, born in 80. He's 46. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date, sir?
Yes, sir, we do. Hold on 1 minute. Barry Horowitz turned 67. Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, is 55. Epico Cologne is 44. The great Gorgeous George was born on this date in 1915. Jake Hager turns 44. Lacey Evans, she's 36. Ryo Mizunami is 38. And the man I think you had on your list, El Jefe, the man who's running AAA now, The Undertaker. He turned 61 on March 24th. 2000, the year 26.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Pasta, what is it? Pasta Vazul. Oh, Pasta Vazul. Duran Duran is on your list. You should go see them. Simon still sounds great. I mean, he can still sing the chauffeur. If he can still hold those notes and do the chauffeur, he can still sing. And whenever I get a chance to see Duran Duran, I take the wife and I go. And I do that because they can still perform. And 4 of the original members are still together. So that's actually really, really cool that you've got most of the originals anyway, as it is. The only one that's not with them, unfortunately, he's been dealing with cancer, just shit. Stinking cancer. Got to eliminate that thing. But if you get a chance, Pasta, go see Duran Duran. Well worth it, dude. Well worth it. And by the way, out of their last few albums, they've come up with several good songs in the last few albums. Very impressive. They still come up with good music overall. So yeah, go see them. You will definitely enjoy the concert. And Simon still sounds excellent, which is really cool at this point in his career that he still sounds that good. All right. All right, let's go with music history. What happened today in music history? I know you're all wondering, what went on today? Well, we start off in 1962 with Mick Jagger and Keith Richards performed their first paid gig when they appeared as Little Boy Blue and the Blue Boys at the club in Ealing, England. No Rolling Stones then. And 1965, 3 years later, on the first date of their anniversary tour, Rolling Stones bass player Bill Wyman was zapped and knocked out by an electrical shock from a microphone stand in Odense, Denmark. In 1973, the OJs went to #1 on the singles charts with Love Train. And the song's lyrics of unity mention a number of countries, including England, Russia, China, Egypt, and Israel, as well as the continent of Africa. In 1986, the Pet Shop Boys released their debut studio album, Please, and it features the singles West End Girls and Love Comes Quickly and Opportunities. I love that song. I've got the brains, you've got the looks, let's make lots of money. And Suburbia, another one. To have West End Girls, Love Comes Quickly, Opportunities, and Suburbia in your debut album, that's ridiculous, dude. It's stupid. In 1986, Van Halen released their 7th studio album, 5150. It features Dreams and Why Can't This Be Love? Let's see. In 1992, Arrested Development released their debut studio album, 3 years, 5 months, and 2 days in the life of, and it features Tennessee, People Every Day, and Mr. Wendell. Let's see what else. In 98, this will make Sean Stanley happy. NSYNC released their debut studio album, In Sync, and it features the singles I Want You Back, Tearing Up My Heart, and Here We Go, and For the Girl Who Has Everything. Let's see what else. In 2009, legendary Motown drummer Uriel Jones died. He was a recording session drummer for Motown's in-house studio band, the Funk Brothers, during the 60s and early 70s. Jones had a hard-hitting funk style, best heard on the tracks for the hits Ain't No Mountain High Enough, both versions by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell in 67, and in 70, the remake by Diana Ross, plus I Heard It Through the Grapevine, and Ain't That Peculiar by Marvin Gaye. In 2017, Craig Finn released his 3rd studio album, We All Want the Same Things, and it features the singles Prelude, God in Chicago, and Tracking Shots. Let me see if there's any birthdays that weren't on the other list. Lee Oakshar from War is 78 today. Klaus Dinger of New and Kraftwerk, born today in 1946. Steve Lang of April Wine, born in 1949. And now we got it. There we go. That's what happened today in Musica history. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? You have to admit, Big O, some of the players hanging on. I have no problem. I get that when some player, but I'm just talking about the players. I'm all right if Marino's still hanging on. I'm all right if Jason Taylor's hanging on. I'm all right if Barkov is still hanging on. The people that gave you everything and made you what you are, I don't believe in allowing those people to walk out the door. And it's only a few. It's never half your team or anything. It's only a couple guys. You know, that's just in every generation, there's only a couple of those guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see Richmond Webb play in Cincinnati. I don't. Sorry. Don't want to see it. I want to see Richmond Webb finish his career with the Dolphins and retire. And you know what? I got to know Richmond Webb, covering him. Oh my God, what a great human being too, man. Jesus, you know. And if you ever run into him, ever dealt with him, you know what I'm talking about. And he was like that in the worst of times. He rose above all of it, dude. Way better than any of us could ever do it. And I always admire that about Richmond, that his level of class is something really special. So I have problems with that. Over the years, I've had those kind of issues when we see a few of those guys leave. And I'm like, no. You don't allow that person to leave. Find a way, work it out. Too important. Let him retire with you. You know, so that's where I'm at. So some Dolphin or Heat players or whatever, or Panther players or whatever, they just deserve a little different treatment. That's just kind of where I come from. All right, folks, we are out of here. We thank the amazing Sean Stanley, always getting it done. We thank all the great people out there, Isabel and the folks at Fort Lauderdale United making it happen for us. We thank goalkeeper Haley Craig. She was awesome, really fun interview. You can rewind and check it out. I'm sure Sean will be posting it later. David Furones, Dolphins Insider. We appreciate him and our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report. Again, you can rewind if you want to listen to it, talking all kinds of stuff. We appreciate all of you that tuned in. You hit the like button, send in a donation. Remember, you can send in a donation anytime, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of stuff. We'll see you all tomorrow afternoon at Hialeah Park at 2 o'clock. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big